The internet, as we know worldwide, has also been used as a tool to fuel hatred. And in the case of what's happening here with the very complex political environment and diverse interests that are also at play within this new environment, over the past few weeks, the internet has also been used to fuel hatred across ethnic lines, across these very sensitive.
But then to switch it off is a bit of a drastic measure. There are other ways of managing the spread of hatred rather than switching off the internet, some people argue.
Well, at the moment, the government has a primary responsibility of ensuring human security.
Right.
And where certain groups have been mobilizing and utilizing the internet to wreak havoc, destruction, and also to mobilize catastrophe across other people and across ethnic groups, this is one of the tools and the mediums that needs to be also addressed.
Okay, Ms. Sayum, let's just go back to the death of Hachalu. Can you tell us the latest? Because again, it's very difficult to get anything out of Ethiopia. What's the situation as far as protests and clashes are concerned?
There was only protest on the morning after his death was announced. As far as communication is concerned, the government entities have all been available on media. At this point, Addis Ababa is gone back to normalcy. Also, the Oromia region has also returned back to normalcy.
So how many people were killed during those clashes and protests? Do you have figures?
We have about above 80.
Who killed them? Who's responsible for the killings?
So that is part of police investigations. But as you know, there was an outpouring of love and mourning on the announcement of Hachalu's death on Monday night. The following morning, tons of people went out to show their solidarity, to mourn an artist who they revered, having awakened a political awakening within them. Among those were also people who may have hijacked these peaceful people who went out to show their love and recognition for this artist.
Okay, so a medical official in the town of Ambo, where the singer's funeral happened, said 2 people were killed when police opened fire on them. Why is police shooting at people attending a funeral?
Police were not shooting at people. There has been a lot of back and forth with regards to where Hachalu needs to be buried. His family also, they went on public and also on media waves and said that they wanted his body and his remains to be buried in Ambo. His mother has clearly stated that she wants to be able to go and visit his body every morning. There are forces that did not want that wanted his remains to be buried in Addis, and there was a lot of scuffle and unlawful taking back and forth of his body between Ambo and Addis Ababa. There were also elements who were trying to hijack this.
From where you're sitting at the moment, in the Prime Minister's office, when you look at the broader picture in Ethiopia and the challenges of trying to reconcile a country, because when I was in Ethiopia, in Addis, I was getting all these positive vibes about Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. When I went to Mekelle and to the Tigray region, it was a totally different story. A lot of negative vibes about the Prime Minister and his government. What are the challenges that you see, and how is your Prime Minister trying to address them?
I mean, it's quite erroneous to say that you went to one particular region and found that negative energy, because a few people that you talked to...
I spoke to people in Mekelle who said that they do not...
They don't necessarily represent everybody within the region, in the same manner that people who speak a few words here and there do not necessarily entirely paint the current situation of a country. As far as what Prime Minister Abiy is doing, there is a commitment for democratizing. Ethiopia has had a very turbulent history. It's emerging out of, over the past 2.5 years, it's emerging out of a very, very turbulent complex. These reforms are slowly addressing these.
Yeah.
They take time and they will manifest towards that. There is a strong commitment on the part of the administration as well as the Prime
I need to let you go now, but when is the internet going to be switched back on?
I can't necessarily specify on that, but it should be back to normalcy within the next week or so.